Today, we're going to show you how to organise and declutter your kitchen, talking through a couple of different pantry systems and how to maintain your kitchen in busy everyday life. I'm Heather Dhillon, founder of the Calm Home Company.
And I'm Esme Fisher, founder of Tidy Coaching. So before we start organising our kitchen, of course, we've got to have a good declutter of all the items we've got in there. So an easy-ish way that I find to declutter the kitchen is doing it in category. So splitting it into food, items you cook with, and items you eat with. So food is a great one to start with because you can date check items. A lot of people are kind of guilty of buying, say, a particular herb or spice for a recipe. They'll try that recipe and then they'll decide they don't like it, and that will just sit then at the back of their cupboard for a long time.
5 years.
Yeah. So that's quite a good one. Check you're still using them and check they're in date. And then the same with the other things, the other items. Get out all your kind of, utensils and put them on the work surface and have a good, again, a visual audit of what you've got. Pick out the ones you use the most and then the rest can go.
Yeah. And then when you're putting everything back and you're kind of replanning your space, just think about organising your items according to use and routine. So for example, having all your mugs and your tea and coffee near the kettle, and having your oils and vinegars and cooking ingredients right by where you cook. And that just makes your kitchen a bit more streamlined and more efficient.
And when we're putting things away, you can see here that I've used a lot of containers. So a lot of time people might keep kind of, oils and vinegars and stuff on the shelf, and you have to kind of always rummage through to get to the ones at the back. If you use boxes like this, you just take the box down. I can see everything at a glance in there. I can use the oil and then put it back again. And it just stops me having to rummage through to the back of the shelf. Other things that I quite like to use is an example here is like a turntable. So you can use that for kind of jams and honeys and breakfast things. And then I also like using shelf risers. So if you've got quite a few mugs like I have, you're just maximising the height of your shelf with that shelf riser.
And then talking about organising sort of dried food items, there's a couple of different ways you could do it. If you like a pantry system with sort of clear containers, whether it's glass or plastic with labels on. So just to show you an example here, we've got some pasta in a clear container. You can just see exactly how much you've got. Makes it really easy to sort of manage stock and top it up on your shopping list when it's running low. Just keeps it really airtight. Whereas for other people, that would just seem like too much of a hassle to kind of decant everything and maintain that. In which case, you could just use a simple container, just categorising like with like. So say having all your rices and grains together just makes it easy to find in your kitchen and stops it getting lost in the back of the cupboard.
And actually what's really great about using boxes is you can operate a kind of one in, one out system. So when your box of pastas and rices is overflowing, then you've got too much. And it just allows you to keep stock for your next shop.
Yeah.
And another thing in the kitchen, if you try and keep your surfaces as clear as possible. So for example, I just have out my toaster, my food processor and my kettle and anything else. So, if you've got a sandwich toaster or a slow cooker
waffle maker
or a waffle maker that maybe you use, once every month or every few months, then try and have that housed away in a cupboard somewhere. It just helps keep everything nice and clean and tidy.
Yeah. And then just generally, like in order to maintain the kitchen day to day, just doing a daily reset, whether you've got 10 minutes, whether you've got half an hour, just, once you've done all the dishes and everything, just put things away back in their place, aim for those clear surfaces again, deal with any mail or anything that's come in to keep your islands and surfaces tidy. It just makes it feel so much better when you come down the next day and everything is back in its place. And similarly, you can do the same sort of pantry system with your spices. So if you like to decant everything into kind of pretty glass jars with labels, it can look really effective. You don't need to have a sort of big fancy cupboard or containers. You could just literally have a drawer with some shelf risers in, pull out the drawer, all your spices are in front of you. It's really easy to find everything, and it just makes it a bit more pleasurable when you're cooking and looking for that ingredient.
Okay, so now on to your utility items. So you can see here that I've kind of got everything in boxes and labelled everything I'm going to need for washing and ironing up here. I've also got my daughter's crafting stuff also handily all away in boxes. And I would just say, again, try and keep surfaces clear, but I've got all my washing items here that I have to hand, but again, it's just neatly put away and out of the way. Thank you for watching us today. If you liked our tips on how to declutter and organise your kitchen, then please hit like and subscribe below, and we will be making some more videos for you soon.
I'm Heather Dhillon. This is Esme Fisher. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.